Ladies and gentlemen, before we dive into today's gripping report, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and turn on the bell icon so you never miss a moment in history as it unfolds. The air was heavy, the silence louder than 1,000 voices. As dawn broke over the capital, a sudden shift in the wind carried with it whispers of finality. President Mnangagwa, after years at the helm of a turbulent ship, finally stepped down. It was not a resignation filled with pomp, celebration, or ceremony. No grand parade. No fireworks. Just a man walking slowly down the marble steps of State House, his eyes distant, his pace measured. This was not just the departure of a political figure. It was the quiet end of an era. Insiders say the final cabinet meeting was tense. Advisors sat stiffly, eyes avoiding one another. The word resignation had been in the air for weeks, but no one expected it to land so suddenly, and with so much personal weight. The president, they say, wore a rare expression of solemnity. No signature scarf. Just a plain suit, and a voice barely rising above a whisper. He addressed the nation in a live broadcast that lasted just under 5 minutes. I have served my country with all I had, he began, pausing often, perhaps to choose words carefully, or to hold back emotion. He spoke of struggle, of sacrifice, of lessons learned, and roads never traveled. The broadcast cut sharply at the end, leaving a nation stunned, some in tears, others in silent reflection. What followed was even more gripping. As he left the podium, surrounded by a few aides and security personnel, President Mnangagwa looked back once, one final glance at the house that had been his battlefield and refuge alike. There was no cheering crowd. Only the low rumble of distant thunder, as if nature herself was marking the moment. Reactions across Africa were swift and varied. Leaders sent messages of respect, while the streets of Harare saw gatherings of citizens, some celebrating, others uncertain of what the future holds. Many are now asking, who will step up? What comes next? And how will history remember this moment? One striking detail that caught the attention of many, as he drove off in his motorcade, a single hand emerged from the tinted window. A subtle wave, perhaps a farewell. Or maybe a quiet signal that even giants must one day rest. This is a turning point not just for Zimbabwe but for Southern Africa, remarked a senior political analyst. We are witnessing history, and it's unfolding right before our eyes. If you've been moved by this incredible chapter in the nation's journey, be sure to subscribe to the channel right now. Your support helps us bring you the stories that matter most, with honesty, clarity, and passion. As the sun set that evening, the flag still flew over State House, but for the first time in a long while, the office behind it stood quietly, awaiting its next occupant. This is more than just a resignation. It is the end of a legacy. And the beginning of an uncertain but hopeful tomorrow.